Hello everybody, my name is Megan. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, then welcome back. Ignore my cat outside. She's meowing because she wants to be let in, but I'm not going to let her in because she's just too loud. Anyway, if you cannot tell by today's title of the video, I am going to be doing a makeup declutter. I'm not sure how much makeup I will actually be decluttering. Are you okay? I did do a pretty big declutter back in like December, and then I was gone for a while and I wasn't near most of my makeup collection, but I do know that there are some things that I want to get rid of. So let's go ahead and just jump on in. All right, so let's go ahead and start here. This is all of my face base products. I have my setting sprays, my foundations, primers, concealer, and setting powders. For my powders, I'm going to keep all three of these. I have the Maybelline Fit Me powder. That's my only like pressed powder that I have. And then I have the Glossier powder in G11, G12. That one is a loose powder, but it has a color to it. And then I have my Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. So all three of those I do use quite often. I do like them a lot. As for my setting sprays, I have three. This one is currently in a project pan, so this will be out of my collection shortly. And then after that, I will just have the Airbrush Flawless Filter and the All Nighter, so I'm happy with that as well. Foundation, I really don't wear foundation, but I do like having foundation options for the times that I do try to wear foundation. I have my Glossier Skin Tint, which is a very, very light coverage, and then I have my e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, as well as the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. All three of those, like I said, I don't wear foundation often, but I do like having them in my collection, and I think that that is a pretty good range to have. So moving over here to my primers, I have my sunscreen, which I'm keeping. I have my Touch in Sol Glassy Skin Balm, which is in my project pan, so I'm keeping that as well. I also have the Tarte, it's not poreless, Timeless Smoothing Primer. That I don't use very often, but it's the only pore filling primer that I actually have, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. This is my e.l.f. Retro Paradise Face Oil. I'm keeping that. It's the only face oil that I have. This is the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. I think I'm gonna keep this just because my only other hydrating foundation, or sorry, not foundation, primer. My only other hydrating primer is this Glassy Skin Balm, and this honestly, oops, there we go. Spoiler alert for my project pan, it should be out not by the end of this month, but probably by the end of next month. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to this, and then I will use this up after. I also have the Elemis Superfood Glow Priming Moisturizer. This, I've used it twice. One time I liked it, one time I really did not at all. So I do want to give it more of a shot before I either keep it or get rid of it. So this is going to go probably into like a chopping block video that I'm planning on possibly doing. So for the time being at least, I will be keeping that. And then this is my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, which I love. So I so far have not decluttered anything, which means that this is going great, right? Because that's the whole point of a declutter, is to not declutter anything. But honestly, I'm really happy with these, so I am okay with having those. Then I have my concealers. This is the NARS Radiant, what's it called? It's like the Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have the shade Vanilla. I just got this. It's still in the box. I haven't used it at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I'm also going to keep my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Love this stuff. It's great. I have two of the Glossier Stretch Concealers. I have G11 and G12. G11 I'm going to go ahead and put off to the side. I might keep it. G12 is usually the one that I reach for. G11 is more of like a skin tone shade for me instead of like a highlight concealer shade. So I might end up getting rid of G11, but I'm for sure keeping G12. This Fenty concealer, I'm really not sure about. I used to love this. I used to wear it all the time. Take that off my wrist. But I just haven't been reaching for it. I feel like it's a little bit drier than I would like my concealer to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a maybe pile as well. I haven't used it in a while, but it's because I feel like it's drier. So I probably should just take that as a sign to go ahead and get rid of it. But if I'm using like a primer oil or like the Glossy Skin Balm, then I might be into it. So that might actually end up in a chopping block video. This is the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer, whatever that is. Whatever it is. Let's see. Pro Conceal. Yeah, there we go. And this color is light. I'm actually wearing it today though, and I'm not mad at it. I don't know, this will go in the maybes. I don't always reach for it. Sometimes I do, but I mean, it's lighter than that one is, and that one's a pretty light concealer. But like I said, I am wearing it today, so I don't know. It's gonna go in my maybe. I guess while we're here, I'll also swatch the G11 color just so I can see it. Yeah, that's considerably darker than these other ones are. I probably will not end up keeping this. But yeah, we will, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this, the G11 concealer. I'm making my decision on it. So we have one item officially decluttered so far. And then I also have 2 of these Maybelline Instant Rewind concealers. I do use both colors. I haven't used them in a while, but I also did not take them with me when I moved, so I haven't had access to them. Let's go ahead and... So the lighter one is very similar to the Pro Conceal shade, and this one is darker. I'd say this one is very close to that glossy one that I just decluttered, and I do want to have one that's kind of my skin tone, so I will go ahead and keep this darker one for sure. And I think I'm gonna hang on to the lighter one as well. It'll go in my maybe pile. Between the 3 of those, I will end up keeping 1, maybe 2 of them, but I'm just gonna set those off to the side for now. So we will see what happens with that. So let's go ahead and move on to my next drawer. All right, so this is my drawer that has all of my blush, bronzer, contour, highlight, all that fun stuff, cream and powder. I don't know, I guess we'll start right here with my highlights. So let's see, I have 3 of these ColourPop Super Shock highlighters. Realistically, I don't need all 3 of them. I haven't been wearing highlighter too often lately, but that is just because with masks and everything, my highlight rubs off first and it really bothers me. So I just choose to not wear it. But I have Stole the Show, Lunch Money, and Flexitarian. We're gonna swatch them. This one is Lunch Money, I believe, yeah. So Lunch Money is right there. And then I have Stole the Show, oh no, this one's Flexitarian. Flexitarian is right next, so it's Lunch Money's right here, and then Flexitarian. It's clearly more icy, which I think is very pretty. I mean, I think they're all pretty, because they are all pretty. Oops. And then I also have, this one is Stole the Show. So Lunch Money, Flexitarian, Stole the Show. You know, honestly, I don't think I need both Lunch Money and Stole the Show. So I will decide what I want to do with those ones, actually. I'm going to put those off to the side for now. I will be keeping Flexitarian, without a doubt in my mind, but this one is Lunch Money and Stole the Show. I'm just going to put those right there for now, off the side, out of the way, and then I will figure that out in a little bit. But I will be keeping Flexitarian. I also have the Mary Luminizer. This is gorgeous. I love it. I've actually made a lot of progress in this. I'm thinking of trying to throw it into a project pan at some point. See how much use I can get out of it, see if I can hit pan on it. But I will be keeping that. I also have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl, which this one is gorgeous. Just like an icy white highlight, which although this one is very icy and very white, this one is still a little bit different. This one has more of a gold undertone, whereas Flexitarian is a little more pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I am on a no buy, or not a no buy, but it's like a low buy this year. I'm just trying to keep an eye on what I bring in, but I did decide to pull in this Becca Moonstone highlighter because I know Becca is going out of business and I have always wanted to try Moonstone, but I've never actually bought it. So I did buy the mini of it, so I will be keeping this, but I think it's just a gorgeous, it's right here. I don't really know how well you can see it. But I think it's just a gorgeous highlighter that I think will look very good on my skin tone. And that one is actually very similar to Stole the Show. So I might keep that one and actually end up decluttering Stole the Show. But we'll get back to that in a minute. I also have, I hate this packaging. I can literally never get it open. There we go. This is the e.l.f. Shimmer Highlighter Powder. Mine is in the shade Pearl Glow. And I mean, it's very similar. This one's like the middle ground, I would say, between, oh my goodness, Mary Lou and Pearl, but I think it's gorgeous, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep that for sure. Which one of these was Stole the Show? It's Lunch Money. Stole the Show, okay, so Stole the Show I'm gonna go ahead and put in my declutter pile. And I also have this Marc Jacobs highlighter. It's their Omega highlighter. I was about to say Omega bronzer, but I just think that's so gorgeous. And yes, it's very similar to all the colors that I have, but it's also different, so I don't feel bad about keeping it at all. So with that being said, I've decluttered one highlighter and one is in my maybe pile, but here we are. All right, so next let's go ahead and look at my powder bronzers. Honestly, I have 5 of them in here, and I think I'm just gonna keep all 5 of them. I have my, there we go, Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil, as well as the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This one is currently in a Project Pan, but I do just love both of those. I also have my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which I do really, really like. I have my NARS Laguna, which I don't use this as much as I should, but I do definitely want to get some use out of it before I decide to pass it along, because I think it's gorgeous and I do think the color works well on me. So if I do eventually decide to declutter it, then I will deal with that then, but for the time being I do want to keep it. And then this is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light, and I really haven't gotten a lot of use out of this. I got this just before I moved, and of course I did not take it with me for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that as well. So like I said, I'm not getting rid of any of those bronzers, at least not yet. I'm sure I will at some point later down the line, but I'm not mad about 5 bronzers. It's definitely a lot, especially when I say it out loud. But I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to those. So for my powder blushes, I have my Tarte Blush Book, which I love this blush book. I really do. I love the formula of the blushes. I just never reach into it, and it makes me so sad. What I think I'm gonna do is I might end up rolling this into a project pan because I do want to get use out of it. I don't know, I feel like it always goes in my babies, and I always end up keeping it, and then I like never actually use it, and then the next time a declutter comes around, I look at it and I'm like, but I can't get rid of it. It's gonna go in the babies. I'm probably gonna keep it, but it's gonna go in the babies for now. This is MAC Sincere. I absolutely love this blush. I think it is so gorgeous. I can't get a swatch of it right now because of my nails. Yeah, I mean, it still works. It's a really pretty blush. It looks just how it does in the pan, and I think it's just a gorgeous color. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I also have 2 Milani Baked blushes. This one is in the shade Luminoso, and this one is Rose d'Oro. Let's go ahead and swatch these out. I mean, I'm sure by this point everybody knows what Luminoso looks like. It is a cult classic, and that's for good reason. So you can see right there, it just has a little bit of a sheen to it. And then I also have, like I said, Rose d'Oro, and this one is just a little bit warmer, deeper shade, which I think is really pretty. It's more of a copper blush, and I don't have anything like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep both of those. I also have my Cindy Luminizer, which I think is actually pretty similar to Luminoso. I think it's gonna be really similar. Oh, not quite. It's a little bit lighter, which means that I'm gonna go ahead and keep it because it was one of my favorites at one point. This was my go-to blush. And like I said, with the Mary Luminizer, I do want to put this in a project pan eventually, and get some more use out of it because I think it's just great. And then I also have this Joy Blush Duo, which I just got and I am keeping because I love the formula and the colors of it. So for this section, I've decided to put one of them in the babies. This declutter is not going well. Although, like I said, I kind of wasn't anticipating that I like declutter half my makeup collection or anything like that, just because I did do a declutter not too long ago. And I do, for the most part, really love everything that I have. I mean, even these ones that I might be getting rid of, like, I do love them. It's just a matter of, am I going to use them before they go bad? So moving on to my cream and liquid highlights and bronzers. Well, I guess right on top, this is neither of those, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Film Star duo. I love this, keeping that for sure. And then let me just really fast divide out my bronzers from my highlights. Okay, so for highlights, I like this highlighter, but I really don't use it all the time. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter this. It's the LA Girl Pro Conceal in like the highlight shade. It's just, I don't know, it's getting a little gunked up. It's a really pretty like white icy highlight, but I don't think I need it in my life. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. I also have my Glossier Play Night Shine highlighter, which it's a really pretty color. I'm actually wearing it today. I do think that it's just a little bit deep for me, which obviously if I were to like, you know, go outside and get a flesh tone, it wouldn't be too bad. I don't know, it's really pretty, but I just never find myself reaching for it. I mean, aside from today. But today too, I did specifically want like a pink toned highlight, which is not really anything that I have aside from Flexitarian. So I guess there is that. It'll go in my babies because I do like it. I do like the formula of it. I love the color of it, but it's not one that I reach for all the time because it is a little bit dark. So I do have to be really careful when I use it. I also have my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Illuminator. I love this to death. It is actually like my favorite highlight stick ever. It's just so pretty, makes my skin look so nice, and I'm keeping that hands down. And I also have the Nude Sticks, what do they call this? Magnetic Nude Glimmers. This is in the shade 99% Angel. Again, this one is like that Glossier one. It's a gorgeous color. It's just a little bit dark for me, so when I do use it, I have to be careful with it, but I just don't know that I'm ready to like part with it yet. I just don't know. I mean, you can see it right there. It's really pretty. It's just, like I said, it's a little dark. It's gonna go in the babies just because I know it's just so dark, but like I love the formula of it. I love the color. I just wish that it worked for me, you know? So for now I have 2 for sure yeses from this little category. So there's that. For my bronzers and contours, I think I'm gonna keep all of them. I have the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair, from the shade Fair. I really, really like this. Keeping that, I have my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. Love that. Keeping that, I have the Milk Makeup Mini Bronzer in the shade Baked. Love that as well. And then this is in my Project Pan. It's my Anastasia contour stick in the shade Fawn. Honestly, I might end up decluttering this at some point. It's just, I don't know, but it's currently my Project Pan, so I'm going to hang on to it, and maybe later on in Project Panning, I might decide that I'm just over it. But for now, I'm going to keep it. So there is that. And then lastly, for this little section, I have my cream blushes, which I love cream blush. So realistically, I don't know how well this is going to go. But this is my ColourPop Super Shock blush in the shade Between the Sheets. This is in my Project Pan, so I'm going to keep it, at least for now. I'm starting to be kind of sick of it, and I might end up decluttering it, but I'm keeping it only because of my Project Pan. This is the Benefit Benetint. Love this. Keeping that for sure. I have my Fenty cream blushes. I love these. I'm not getting rid of these anytime soon. I will be keeping those. This is the Nude Sticks Magnetic Lip Plush Paints, except it's meant for lip, cheek, and eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Really pretty color, really great formula, and I love the way that it looks. This is my Milk Makeup mini blush stick in the shade Work. I just think it's such a pretty cream blush, and it sheers out to be really, really natural, like a flush, and I just love it. This is also from Nude Sticks. It is the Lip and Cheek Pencil in the shade Whisper. I love this color. I never use it, and I wish that I used it more often because I think it's so pretty, but I just don't reach for it. So it's gonna go in the maybes because I want to use it, and it might be one that I end up panning, I keep saying. But I think it's so pretty, and I don't want to get rid of it because I love the color of it, but it's just not something that I reach for. So I don't know, maybe if I end up putting it in a Project Pan, it'll like make me reach for it more often. This is the Perricone MD No Makeup Blush. It's just a really pretty like orangey coral, which is not a shade that I feel like I have a lot of, although I'm sure I probably have way more of it than I realize. But it's really pretty. It sheers out quite a bit, which is really nice, but I don't know, I love the formula of it. I love like just the color. I think it's so pretty. I love it. I'm keeping it. I also have this Rare Beauty mini blush in the shade Bliss, which just looks like that, which is a really gorgeous blush shade. I'm keeping that for sure. And again, like the Perricone one, it sheers out to be really, really subtle, or else you can build it up. And then lastly, I have my Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Dusk. I have not worn this in so long, but that's because I didn't take it with me when I went to Kansas. And the reason why I didn't take it with me was because I knew that if I did take it with me, I would never use any of my other blushes that I was planning to use, if that makes sense. But it's so pretty. I love it. I can't get rid of any of those. So this declutter, like I've said a million times, is really not going well, but I don't know. Here we are. Let's go ahead and load those back in. All right, next up I have my like eye category that's not eyeshadows. I mean, I have like some single shadows in here. but it's like mascara, brows, liners, all that fun stuff. So going ahead and starting, I guess we'll start right here with my brows. I have my Glossier Boy Brow, which I'm keeping. I have this Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I like it, but this is just so obnoxious to try to use because like of how small it is, which it's a nice like deluxe size, you know, except when I'm trying to put it into my like brows, I keep hitting like the handle on my face and it like messes up my brows a little bit. I'm gonna keep it because I want to try to get like more use out of it to see if I like the product, but I don't love the packaging on that one. I also have my e.l.f. Wow Brow, which I'll go ahead and keep, and then I have my NYX Control Freak brow gel, which is in my project pan, so that will be leaving my collection shortly. And then I have 3 brow pencils. I have the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which is in my project pan. I have the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, which I love, and I will pan that after I finish up the other one. And then I also have my Glossier Brow Flick, which is just a great brow pen. So I'm not getting rid of anything from there, but also brows is a category that I use enough of because I do my eyebrows every single day. So I'm not too worried about having like 3 pencils because they're pencils that I love and I'm gonna get through them quickly. So there's that. For my mascara, these are my current open mascaras. Okay, so I do have more mascaras than this, but the other ones are closed off, and I told myself that I was only gonna open like 1 mascara at a time because I do want to get through as many mascaras as I can this year. With that being said, I am currently using 3, so there's that. But I guess we'll go ahead and start off over here. I have this Lancome, it's like a mascara primer. I've had these, like I've had a bunch of these. I don't love them, but I keep ending up with them. And I told myself I was gonna use this, but I'm not gonna use it. I don't wanna use it. I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it. There's no point in me having it at this point. I have this L'Oreal Voluminous Original mascara. This one's in the burgundy shade. I think it's really pretty. I've used it a couple times, but not enough for me to warrant keeping it. This is also like 3 years old. I want to keep it, but I know I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to go ahead and declutter it. And then same thing with this ColourPop mascara. Although I have made some really pretty looks with these, actually. I might be keeping both of these. Maybe pile. We'll go there for now. So this is the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl Mascara. This is currently my project pan. I like it better for my bottom lashes than my top lashes. I just feel like it disappears throughout the day. So I might actually, what was I saying? Oh, I've noticed that it like disappears on me throughout the day, which is really annoying. So I'm thinking about decluttering it even though it is in my project pan, but at the same time, it doesn't really, it makes my bottom lashes look good. It doesn't disappear from my bottom lashes, just my top lashes, which I think is weird, but here we are. And then I have both the Bad Gal Bang, which I opened up next, thinking that I was gonna declutter that. Turns out this smudges so badly on my lower lashes, but it doesn't smudge as bad on my upper lashes. So I'm thinking that like this might be a working duo, is like I use this one on the bottom and this one on the top and I can get through them at the same time. But then I also ended up opening up this Milk Kush mascara because I ended up going to the beach the other day and I did want more mascara because I wasn't planning on swimming, but I was going to be sweating or whatever. And I opened it because it was waterproof and I think it smudged a little bit too, but I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out all 3 of those. So I will be keeping those 3 mascaras, at least for now, until I figure out what I actually want to do with them. So next up I have my eyeliners. This is a blue eyeliner. I really like it. I think it's cool, but I'm not going to use it as much as I tell myself I'm going to use it and I want to use it. I know better. Do I know better? I don't know that I know better, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. I have my Glossier Pro Tip, which I love this eyeliner. I rave about this all the time, but it's just old, it's dried up, it's past the point of, I mean, I can fix it if I like want to clean it every single time, but I'm just so over it that I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this as well. In fact, I'm actually gonna throw it in the trash because it's done. This is the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner. I think this is a great I keep wanting to call these mascaras. They're not mascaras. This is a great eyeliner. I just don't love a felt tip, which is what this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along to somebody who I think would enjoy that a little more than I will. And then lastly, I have my Maybelline Hyper Easy brush tipped eyeliner. This is what I've been using for the last couple of days. I really do like it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. So I made some progress with the eyeliners, which is good. Over here I have, these are lash glues. I'm going to keep both of those. And then I have 4 pairs of lashes that I'm going to go ahead and keep. This is my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. I really like this. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And then I also have the Alamar Cosmetics Longwear Sticky Pigment Base. This I've been up in the air about. I feel like, realistically, I know that I don't need it. I don't wear pigments. Like, I don't even have any pigments anymore. I used to have a bunch of pigments, but I don't have any anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this, actually. So there we go. And then moving on to this last category, which is just like my eyeshadows. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and keep my MAC Paint Julie Paint Pot. I use this all the time. It's my project pan, so we're going to keep that. I love this L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I will keep all 6 of my MAC eyeshadows. I cannot get rid of them. I love them so much. So I have, I'll show you right now. I have the shade Llama. I have the shade Charcoal Brown. This one is Wedge. I have Expensive Pink. I have Nylon. And I have Floof. So those are those ones. I'm going to go ahead and keep those. This is the Eloise Lit. And it's like, I forget exactly what it's called, and I'm not even seeing it on here, but it's like it's lit, like liquid shadows. This is in the shade Pure Gold. This is really pretty. I've only used it twice. I don't realistically see it being something that I reach for all the time, but I do think it's really pretty. So I will put it in the maybes because I want to be the person that uses stuff like this, but I don't know that I will. I'll go ahead and swatch it out for you guys. It's so pretty. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love it. Like I said though, I don't know that realistically I'll use it. So it's gonna go off to the side. This is my Huda Beauty Matte and Metal eyeshadow. I love this. Don't use it all the time, but I want to use it more, so I will be keeping this. This is my Glossier Sky Wash. I don't use it all the time. I have like a love-hate relationship with this thing, and honestly, it might just be time to go ahead and pass it along. Because like it's a little streaky, but like it's meant to be sheared out. You know, it's not supposed to be like high coverage. But I don't know. I like it's just it is a really pretty color though. It's gonna go in the maybe pile. I don't know. Okay, and then lastly, I have these 2 cream eyeshadows. This is my Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Front Runner. This is in my project pan, but I will be decluttering it. It's just gotten to the point where it's too dry. Like, it's not... It's pretty, and I wish that I could use it, but it's too dry, and it's not super malleable anymore, and it's just not easily used. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one, unfortunately. And then this is the Revlon Colored Stay. This one's actually in better shape than that one was. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this. I might actually roll this one in that one's place. Actually, give me a second. Because out of the 2 of them, I do actually like this one a little bit better, which I think is interesting because I'm not a huge like pink person. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in the maybe. I can't quite tell. And it doesn't help that I have longer nails, so I can't just like reach in and like actually like swatch it. But that color is right here, and like I said, I think it's really pretty, and honestly I do love how this looks on my eyes, so I might keep this one, but I'm for sure getting rid of that one. So that is that tray. Again, I do have quite a few items collecting in my maybe pile, but this is what we are keeping for now out of this drawer. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my lip products. This is just a like sharpener. Move that off to the side. I have this e.l.f. Sheer Slick lipstick in the shade Black Cherry. And I think this is really pretty if I just use a little bit of it, but if I use too much, it looks a little crazy. And so I think for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I have the Glossier Generation G lipstick in the shade Leo. I really do like this lipstick. I think it's a really pretty color. I love the formula of it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. This is Nude Sticks Greystone. It's really pretty. I love like the dark, deep, like brown shade. especially on me. I think it looks really good, but I want to say I'm not going to keep it because of how matte and like, since it's a matte crayon, it sinks into like the lines on my lips really, really badly. But if I wear it with a gloss, then it's not that bad. But realistically, am I going to wear it? Probably not. Put it off to the side for now. This is the Bite lip crayon in the shade Glass, however you want to pronounce it. That just looks like that. It's really pretty, but I'm never going to use it. I've had it for a couple years. I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. This is either Chai or Honeycomb. Nope, this is Honeycomb. And Honeycomb looks like that. Also, this is one of those Bite Amuse-Bouche lip balms or lipsticks. That's really pretty. Realistically, I don't know how often I'm going to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and set that in front. It's not going to go in the baby. I just want to compare it to the other ones first. This is the Bite lipstick in the shade Chai, which again is really pretty, but I'm not going to use it. I've had it for a very long time and I've never used it, so clearly at this point I'm not going to. This is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Do Me Baby. And I've never actually used this. I got it at the very end of December as like a point perk from Sephora. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that actually, because at this point I don't have anything that similar or like that's similar to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. So next I have this Sephora lipstick. This is just a bright red lipstick, and I figure a bullet lipstick as well as a liquid lipstick in the shade Red. I do enjoy red lips. I don't wear them that often, but I don't know. I feel like I would like to keep that, so I'm going to. This is MAC in the shade Love You Back. This one is a very neutral undertone. It's right here. I love it. I think it's a gorgeous lip shade. I'm 100% keeping that. This one is Velvet Teddy. Yes, it is. That one looks like that. See, that one is very similar to Honeycomb, and I think next I have Faux. I think this one's also gonna be really similar to that Honeycomb shade. It's a little different actually, but Honeycomb is very similar to like a middle ground between Velvet Teddy and Love Me Back, Love You Back, Love Me Back, whatever that one was called. But you know what? I want to keep all three of them. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that actually. And then this is the Rare Beauty lip balm in the shade Thankful, which I love it. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm keeping that for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those back, which, you know what? It's not the best, but I'm narrowing it down and I'm happy that I'm narrowing it down. So next I have, actually I guess I'm gonna wipe this off first. All right, so as far as this one goes, I'm gonna keep all my lip balms just because I go through lip balm really quickly. But this is the e.l.f. Lock On Lip Primer. It's leaking, I never use it, not keeping it, passing it along. Honestly, it's probably just gonna end up in the trash because like I said, it's leaking. And then I have these lip liners, which I don't really ever use lip liner. We're going to go ahead and keep my clear lip liner from Sephora, but I will go ahead and get rid of Rosewood, and then I think this one's called Rose and this one's called Burgundy. These two are both from L'Oreal. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of all three of these because I don't use lip liner. And then lastly, I have my glosses, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. This is a CoverGirl Wet Slicks. I've had this for, I couldn't even tell you how long. It's a really pretty peachy color, but it's a little bit of that like metallic frost sort of lip gloss, and I just don't reach for it. I don't use it ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along. This one is, I don't even know what the brand is. I couldn't tell you. I know that it still smells great. It smells like cinnamon apples, and I'm obsessed with the smell of it, but again, it's one of those very like metallic frost lip balms or lip glosses, and it has glitters in it obviously, and they're just really chunky, and I don't love the way it feels on my lips, so I'm gonna go ahead and unfortunately get rid of this after I couldn't even tell you how many years. So there's that. And then other than that, I have my Glossier lip gloss. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I'm also going to keep the Too Faced Lip Injection. Keeping the Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie Gloss. I love that. I also have 2 Buxom lip glosses that I will be keeping. I have Peach Daiquiri and White Russian. I love both of those. I'm actually wearing White Russian today. I have 5 of my mini Fenties. I'm going to keep those, as well as 2 of the ColourPop lip oils. I do really like this formula, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And then I also have this incredible lip oil, and I just don't know what I want to do with this. I don't really love the applicator, but I've been wearing it a little bit recently, and it's like I'm warming up to it, but I'm just gonna declutter it. No point in keeping it around, decluttering that one. So, okay, honestly, I decluttered more lip products than anything else as of this point, so I'm not mad about it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull over all my babies and make some tough decisions. Okay, so these are the products that I don't entirely know about. I'm back and forth on the fence. They're my navies. Okay. These are really pretty. I'm never going to use them. I'm going to go ahead and declutter those. But also, I want to make sure I'm clear here. I'm also not decluttering. Like, I don't want to declutter just for the sake of decluttering, because I am overall pretty happy with the size of my collection. I know that I still have like a lot more makeup than I definitely need. But I mean, most of the products that are in my collection make me really happy, and the ones that don't make me really happy, for the most part, are already out, which is why these are my babies. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Greystone. I do have other like brown tone lipsticks that I could wear. Nothing quite like this, but realistically I'm not gonna use all of that up, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. I'm gonna keep Whisper. This is that Nude Sticks Lip and Cheek crayon, whatever, that I use as a blush. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. Honestly, as much as I don't use these all that often, I have made some really cool looks with them, and I do want to keep them because although I don't usually get too creative with my makeup, I do like having like different colored mascara options just because I think it's fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep these. Plus having those two will probably keep me from buying other ones, which is always going to be nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep my Fenty concealer just because I want to give it another try before I like finally decide that I don't like the way it looks under my eyes anymore, because this was my favorite for a really long time, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and hang on to that. I just need to make sure I use it. This LA Girl Pro Conceal, I'm looking at myself in the mirror because like I said earlier, I'm wearing it today. You know what? I think it's pretty. I like it. I'm keeping it. We're gonna keep it. Also gonna keep this. I think I'm gonna keep this Instant Age Rewind just for now. I'll probably declutter it at a later point, but I just want to get some like actual good use out of it and make sure that like I know how this formula works with my skin now. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to that. I am gonna keep Lunch Money. I just think it's a gorgeous highlighter and I love it, so we're gonna go ahead and keep it. I do want to give this Revlon a better shot before I decide to declutter it, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that as well. As much as I don't wear this highlight often, I am wearing it today, and I do think it looks really good on my cheeks, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'm also going to keep this one because I want to wear it in the like actual summertime before I decide that it's not going to be a good color for me year round. So let's go ahead and hang on to that. I'm also going to hang on to this just because I have some cool ideas that I would like to use this for. Will I actually ever get around to doing them? Who knows, but I'm going to hang on to that. This is my, again, the L'Oreal Infallible. I got rid of Greystone, so I think I'm going to keep, I'll come back to those in a second. This is the Glossier Sky Wash. I'm going to hang on to this, see what use I can get out of it, see if I can figure out a way to like make it actually really work well for me, and then decide later. And then lastly, this is that Tarte palette that I keep keeping it when I don't ever use it, but I'm going to keep it again because I'm going to. So those will all be kept. These two, honestly, I feel like if I'm this indecisive about it, I should keep them, but I also know that I never use these, you know? I don't know. We'll put those over there for now because I still have to do my eyeshadow palettes. So we're gonna go ahead and do my eyeshadow palettes and then we'll come back to those two in a minute. All right, so here are all my palettes. I have, well, these two are face palettes. 1, 2. I have 21 palettes. A lot of them are these little quads, and then one palette is actually in Kansas. But that is my Gone Coconuts palette from ColourPop, and I'm keeping that for sure. So I'm not too worried about that not being here right now for this. So let's go ahead and I guess I'll start off with this because I know for sure I'm not keeping it. This is the Queen palette from Eloise Cosmetics, and I think it's gorgeous. They're just not colors that I'm ever going to use. I don't use pinks and purples and blues and tones like this, although there are some like nice tones in here that I would use. Somebody can definitely get better use out of this palette than I will. So there's no point in me keeping it. I am going to go ahead and declutter that one. Okay. I also have the KVD Vegan Beauty, what is this one palette even called again? The Edge of Reality eyeshadow palette, which it looks like this. Again, I know that I'm on like a no buy, low buy, but as soon as this came out, I was eyeing it because I thought it was really, really cool and really pretty. And then it was on sale for $18, so I obviously had to swipe it up because I didn't want to pay $45 for it, but $18 I will happily pay. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. My Naked palette, I don't get a lot of use out of it, but I mean, I'm wearing it today, and I love this palette. The shadows perform really well still. I'm really happy with it. I'm keeping that one for sure. This is my Natasha Denona Peak palette. I have not used this yet, actually. I've been super like excited to, but I haven't used it yet. But I'm going to make a point to use it because I'm not decluttering it. This is the Artist Couture Caliente palette. I got this one in a BoxyCharm. It's not a palette that I would have picked up on my own, but I do love it actually now that I've had it. The shadows perform really well. They're a little bit on the dry side, especially the mattes, but I'm not mad about it. And I don't have a ton of color in my collection, so I do like that this has some brighter colors. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. This is the NYX Ultimate Edit palette. I bought this originally because I wanted just something with some, hello, can we open? There we go. With some bright colors. I do not use this. I've never used it. I'm getting rid of that. This is the Pat McGrath Subversive palette. These are gorgeous. There's no way I'm not keeping those, so that is for sure staying. This is the Lorac Pro palette. I almost decluttered this in my last declutter, but then I put it into my chopping block video and I ended up keeping it. So I still love it, cannot get rid of that, and keeping that for sure. This is the Anastasia Subculture palette. I don't use this all the time, but I do. I'm just in love with the color story. Like, I absolutely love this. I think it is stunning, and I'm keeping it without a doubt. My battery light is going on, so I need to hurry up and wrap this up, but I'm going to keep that. This is the Robbie Christie and Pure palette. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. It has a like not neutral side as well as a colorful side, so that's the neutrals, and these are the colorful ones. I just think it's gorgeous. Love the palette. I have the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which just looks like this. Definitely one of my all-time favorites, keeping it without a doubt. And then I also have the Gold palette, which I do not use as much as I should, but I'm keeping that because that is stunning. As for these, I still have not used this blue palette, but I think it's really pretty, and honestly, let's look at these real fast. Okay. I'm never going to use Rose Water. I'm never going to use Berry Bad. As much as I want to keep them just to like have them, I'm not going to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and pass those along. And I don't see myself ever using this blue one. I would also say the green one, except I have used it and I did like the way that it looks. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the blue and get rid of Berry Bad and Rose Water and go ahead and keep these other ones. So I have pumpkin spice, right? Pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie, carnival candy, truffle, hot jalapeno, and sugar, cream and sugar. Yep. Alrighty. Alright, so I know it's not a huge makeup declutter, but I kind of preface with saying that I do love a lot of the products in my collection. In fact, even these, I do like a lot of these, but I just don't use them all. But I am going to go ahead and declutter these items, and there are 30 here that I'm getting rid of, which obviously compared to what I'm keeping is not a lot to be getting rid of. But you know what? That is 30 products that are going to be out of my collection, and I am really happy about it. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up down below and left a comment if you felt inclined to do so. If you want to see more of me in the future, I'm not sure why you would, but hey, to each other, I'm not going to judge you. Go ahead and subscribe down below as well. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.